All right, so welcome back to All Things Gumball. When I started the vending business, I started with one machine, as I've mentioned. I started with one machine. I put that out. It made me $80 gross in 30 days, and I got very excited, and I realized that this is something I can do. This is something you can do. This is something that you can do because it doesn't require a large amount of investment. You can start with $100. You can buy one machine, go out, get a couple bags of candy, and then go knock on doors, which doesn't really cost anything. You do it on your day off, you do it on your time off. You go knock on doors, and you ask people if you can put your vending machine in their store. Now, once they say yes, what do? Well, you bring the candy machine, and you fill it up. And what I would recommend is that you fill it up in the location. You bring the bags of candy first and lay them somewhere where the people that work there, they can see the bags of candy. Do not open the bags of candy before you get there. When you get there, open the bags of candy, and then that way they know that the candy is fresh, that it's brand new, that you haven't tampered with it. Now, bring the bags of candy, you put it on the countertop, or the table, or whatever, and then you go out to the car and you go get the gumball machine, okay? Then you put it in its place, you unlock the lid, you turn around, you grab the candy, and you pour the candy into the machine. This way they know the candy is fresh, they know you haven't tampered with it at all. Once you leave or on your way out of the business, do yourself a favor and grab a business card. Just grab a business card. What's on the business card? Well, the name of the business is on the business card. You're going to have the name of the person that you're dealing with, the person that you're communicating with. It's the contact person. It could be the manager. If you see a card and it says General Manager, grab that business card and keep that in your possession. Take that with you and put it in a box somewhere. I've got a little box here, and I place my business cards in the box that I have on my desk. And in that way, I've always got all of my business cards in one area. When I started the business, I didn't have a lot of locations at first. The first year I might have found 20 locations. I wasn't that aggressive. And I went out and I bought myself a little folder like this, just a little spiral bound folder, and I would write the information in here. Another thing you can do is you can take one page per location. And what you can do is you can write all the pertinent information on top. The contact information, the phone number, what type of machine it is. Is it a Vending? Is it a U-turn machine? Is it a 1-800 vending machine? All of the keys pretty much have numbers on the keys. I would recommend putting the number somewhere on this page or on the business card. On the back, some of these are white on the back. You can write information on the back, like the key number, where the machine is sitting, back by the Coke machine or back by the water fountain, or back by the office. You can just write that information there. When you write that down on this sheet of paper, that'll be good for that location. The next time you find another location, you flip the page and you add another page, you add another location. Now, if you look at my board, none of these are real addresses, none of these are real businesses, but as you can see, I wrote down the contact name, I wrote down the phone number. If you can find the contact number for the person that told you that it was okay to put the vending machine in the place, if you can get their phone number, that's the best thing to do. Because if there's a problem with the machine, as an example, if you come to service your vending machine and you find out the machine is not there, the business could be still in operation, the business may be closed down. What do? Who do you talk to? Well, if you go to your notebook, you will have all of this information. You'll have the contact person, Joe. Joe's the contact person. This is the phone number. So they may say to you, well, Joe no longer works here. He got fired 2 days ago, 4 days ago, or whatever. You could say, who is the general manager in charge? And they will say, it's Brenda. So what you do is you take your pen and you write down Brenda's name in his place. And if you can get Brenda's phone number, you may not be able to get her cell phone number because that's probably a little bit private. But see if you can get the phone number for the general manager, the store. That would be perfect. As you can see on here, I don't know if you can see these numbers. Some of these places, Joe's, Big Crab Shack place, Big Shack. Contact Joe. Here's his phone number. Here's his address. Make sure you write your address down. You don't want to forget to write the address down because what if you can't remember where your locations are? You could Google it. You can go on to Google and find that address. Also, what you can do in your book, now you don't have to have a book like this. You can have something a little bit larger if you really want. And we're going to get into something else a little bit later. Write down the hours that they are open. Now, most places, that work 9 to 5, businesses that are open 9 to 5, they're, pretty typical. Open at 9, close at 5, Monday through Friday. Okay? There's one location that I have, they're closed on Fridays. I have no idea why. They're closed Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So what I do is, in my notebook, I write down that they're closed on Fridays. And I've been there so many times. When I first went there, the first 2 times I went there, I went on a Friday. And you remember, after you make a mistake or twice, make a mistake or 2 times. So, closed on Mondays, closed on Wednesdays, okay? What if you have 2 businesses that are close together? Like look at this, Elm Street and Main Street. Those are very close together. In Dallas they are. You could go to these 2 places back to back. Now, if you look at these businesses, they're both restaurants. That's a restaurant, a pizza restaurant, and that's a barbecue restaurant. When do you go to eat at a restaurant? Some people may say, I go at midnight. Okay, so forget those people. When do most people go to eat at restaurants? Don't they get there around 11? Somewhere between 11 and 2 o'clock? That's the busy time for a restaurant. If you're applying for a job at a restaurant, you definitely don't want to go between 11 and 2 because it makes you look like you're an idiot. Don't go between 11 and 2 when you're servicing your vending machines. Go after 2 if it's a restaurant. Go before 5. 5 o'clock is when they open the doors most of the times in these restaurants. Go between 2 and 5. And if they're really happy, maybe they'll give you a free coffee or something or a free cup of iced tea. They may be fine with you bothering them between 11 and 2, but don't risk it. Go after 2 and try to get there before 5 because the rush starts around 5. Now, when you get your business cards, when you collect your business cards, I highly recommend that. Now, when I first started, what I did, even before I bought myself a pad, before I even bought myself a book, I wrote everything on paper like this. Can you imagine? Just loose papers. And I would lay them on a table or something, or I'd lay them somewhere, and then I'd put some mail on top of it, and I'd end up eventually just kind of forgetting about these papers. And what happens is I end up forgetting about a location. And when I go and check the location, well, they're not happy. They're a little irritated. Hey, where have you been? Why are you ignoring us? This candy's 6 months old. And you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. So, get yourself a book. Small, it can be small like this. It can be a little bit larger. Or you can get something, what I recommend is something like this. It's a binder. Now this binder, let me tell you what's in it. This binder has pages in it. Let me get a little closer. This binder has pages in it, and these plastic pages are made to hold business cards. Let me show you what I've done. Let's go to the front of the book. So in the front of the book, I have all my business cards. And you can put them on both sides. You see? Now the thing that I like about this booklet, or this binder, the thing I like about this binder with these business cards is When the business goes under or they move and they close out, they close their business, or they just ask you, quite frankly, to remove your machine, take it out of there, you can remove their business card. Also, if the card is fairly white, let's say for an example, you can write a little note on it. You can say come after 5 or come before 3 or whatever. You can also get these pages, you can get a lot of these pages. You can buy like 10 at a time or 20 at a time. And you can take one page and that will be one route. So there's five pockets. Let me show you over here. There's 5 pockets here, there's 5 pockets here, that's 10. And then there's 5 and 5, of course, which would equal 20. All right, so you have 5 pockets in each row, which equals 10. You have 5 pockets on this side, and that's 20. If you can hit 20 locations in a day, that's fantastic. Now, what I recommend is that when you're in these locations that you look around and you see if you can find other places for another vending machine. You know, maybe this is a car dealership here and they have a parts department. So if you've got one little gumball machine where in the lobby, walk around the business and see if there's a parts department or see if there's another place to put a machine. And I don't recommend that you ask permission to put that machine in place. Go get a machine, and what you do is you fill it up. First of all, before you do all that, look at the parts department and see if there's a place to put the machine without crowding out something else. You know, if they've got chairs lined up and they've got a few plants and there's really no place to put it, what are you going to do? You're going to bring it in, you're going to try to maneuver it, and somebody's going to come over because you're kind of disturbing things, and they're going to say, what's going on? And you're going to be like, I just want to put this machine here. And they're like, you don't have permission. No, get it out of here. So before you bring the machine, look around and see if there's a spot you could put it. And go home, go get the machine, and you fill it up. This is one time that you would fill it up, not in front of them, but you fill it up before you get there. Pop it in your car, drive over there, bring it in. Don't make a big scene, don't make a big fuss. Just bring it in and set it down gently and turn around and walk out. In 1 month after it's been there, I'm telling you, it will be adopted by the people that work in that department. If, when you're putting the machine in place, if you are putting it in place and you see someone looking at you, so they come over to you and they say, hey, what's going on? Well, that probably means they're in authority. They have some kind of authority in that place, in that department. And here's what you say. You say, oh, you play a little bit like you're a little bit on the dumb side. You say, oh, I have a vending machine over in the lobby, and I just assumed it would be all right to put one here. Most of the time, they don't mind. Most of the time when I've done that, they're fine with that. They're like, oh, okay. You know, we just wanted to know what's going on. We just wanted to get some feedback, or we wanted to get an idea of what's going on here. So that's one way to get a machine in a location. Another location, if you've already got that location. Remember when you're writing down your notes, write down the hours that they're open, because for some businesses like salons, hair salons, they close on Sundays, and sometimes they even close on Mondays. They want to have a 2-day break. So what I write down, and on my website you will find you'll find a form that looks a little bit like this if you want to download this PDF file. And you can fill that out yourself. And what that has on there is the business name, the address, the phone number, the machine, the contact number, the key number, and then any notes that you might want to put in here. The key number is important also. I have about 30 keys in my possession when I go out checking machines, and if I don't know what key goes to what machine, I'll be checking every key on every machine, and it will take an hour to check 2 machines or half an hour to check 1 machine. So go to my website, you can download this form, and it'll let you fill it out as you go, and keep track of everything, guys. All right, I hope you got something out of it, and thank you very much. We will be seeing you on another video, or you'll be seeing me on another video. Have a good evening, have a good morning, or have a good afternoon.